Nice clean stop here.
And for Lauren Heinrich, former GTD champion, has a pass there, the 31, the red and white Cadillac by the BMW. And right now, Jack Aitken aboard the 31, the Cadillac, moving forward. Marty?
Yeah, you see Lauren Heinrich getting in that 5-car, Calvin. This was planned from the beginning of the day for this team to get Heinrich in the car. He has been much quicker than Vanderhelm behind the wheel. So yeah.
Safety car, Kia's prepping those tires for these restarts by the drivers. This is going to get crazy down into that brake zone for turn 3.
And there, staying out of the way, is Lauren Heinrich, the winner from WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. He's not on the lead lap. He stays out of the way. He says, you guys, go get it.
77 is in the fence. Nick Tandy buries Rexy. Forget the mouth guard.
They're the GT cars on the right. They get the green flag. On pole, Dan Harper for BMW. Christopher Mees in the Mustang to the right of the screen. The Corvette takes a look, but Harper will prevail.
Oh, further back, they are 5 wide as GTD cars try to cram in, and one of the Corvettes gets stumbled there in turn 2. Now the Corvettes run nose to tail in GTD Pro. Gotta protect, especially the front end of your race car in these.
They like to do that.
A green mirror, which would be GTD car, but maybe it wasn't a mirror. Maybe it was from contact earlier. You're going to see that. You just see it over that blind rise. It is a mirror, and
He sees it.
green.
He sees it right at the last moment, tries to get back to the right-hand side of the road, just clips it.
And oftentimes it's a Ferrari that has the mirrors hanging way out compared to the other cars.
And so now George is doing the best he can to stay on the lead lap. He does not want to be overtaken, and there's contact there either side of the Triassi Ferrari. That was scary.
That is crazy stuff there at these sort of speeds. I mean, George just flicked around. I thought he almost got touched by Hart. How quick the maneuver was around that GT car, and then they almost came together when they had that.
Almost there if you were going to run a fuel save mode, and by the time prototypes get back around, you would be within that 64-minute mark. It is the outside of how far you could run in a prototype.
Yeah, I think you're definitely going to wait at least another 5 minutes so you can run full bore to the finish. You don't want to be compromised by coming in early. You don't get the yellow, and then suddenly you're having to save fuel as well.
I'm not sure if that's grass that's packed up in there on the headers or not.
Importantly, caution is out, so for those drivers that just hit pit lane, they're going to pay them a huge dividend. So guys like Ellis and company, plus the 2 Corvettes, 81 just makes it in time. Great call there by Rick Mayer and the group there at Dragon Speed to get that job done.
Most of these teams have a Wallen Engineering Cadillac.
In terms of momentum right now, I'm watching the number 6 of Kevin Estre because he has been magic on these restarts on the brakes. He's got a perfect draft working on Renger Vandersen there right now, and the actor up ahead. And watch this, he is closing quick.
Great move, great draft. Inside, whoa, they almost touch, or maybe they did.
It's like 2012 all over again with AJ and McNish.
Down to turn 3, and now the GT.
Contact there with the BMW, getting to the inside of the number 3. That is our championship leader in the wars.
Wow, and it's still continuing down to turn 3, and the other Corvette goes around. Oh, and big contact as they go to avoid him.
You've got to be so careful here. I mean, I'm sure Nicky's anxious to get going here, but if you
take a look at how the 7 gets to the front, you said Porsche's running 1-2 in that 14, 15, 16 complex, top of the screen.
You see it. 40 car of Delatraz get a little bit wide through 14, and Lauren just had a run on him and just pounced. Wasn't a risky mover, he just got to the inside. But that's where that wind is playing a factor on these race cars through that tricky section. So
yeah, the racetrack changes throughout the weekend as more cars get on track. Understand number 5 is going to have a stop and go penalty for incident responsibility. Stop plus 60, and I don't understand that one, I'll be honest with you, but we're back to racing right now, and for Ringers van de Zande out in front in that Acura is on it big time, looking for Acura's first win here at Long Beach.
Meanwhile, the race leading car is in. Kev.
And the lead had been up to about 35 seconds, and I think after the change, and they are changing right side tires, should be about a 32 or 30 seconds with the 17 seconds lost on pit lane. So we're going to keep an eye on the 93. This is the race up pit lane and the blend, and Jack Aitken is in. in the Cadillac.
Look how quick that drop. A bit reactive there. The 6 car is Yamane. And you're just instilled to drive that way. It's so hard to change on the fly halfway through a season. That is an instinctive reaction that a driver's going to do when they're vulnerable and they see that fast car coming up behind me. You're going to jink around a little bit. But race controller said 0 tolerances. That will be a call they have to make.
And as a viewer, Calvin, you say to yourself, yeah, he
outstanding, but I spoke to Tristan Vautier. He's been drafted into that car this weekend. He said the problem's been fixing itself, and you know, we're changing bits and pieces, and then suddenly it doesn't do it again. So the steering wheel controls so many of the operations of these highly sophisticated race cars, but he's still got a bit of drama, it looks like.
Yeah, it's still not right, and you may be wondering, well, what would the steering wheel have to do with that? There are so many items that are controlled via the electronic dials.
Even Thomas, then Jeremy Clark, and then George Kurtz.
About 165 miles an hour as you tip it into turn 8. Beautiful sequence of corners here to finish off the lap. It's a quick lap here at CTMP.
It is crazy to think that this AO Racing LMP2 program is yet to win in IMSA WeatherTech comp.
So, as we suspected, handful of seconds in front for Bamba. So, taking those 2 tires on early and then electing to pit early and get him out in clean air was really a key right now to giving them this track position.
We'll have about the same amount of energy. This is just a couple of minutes ago down in the Andretti hairpin, the 6 on the 24.
Yeah, that's Lawrence Vantour going up against his brother's car. His brother is not behind the wheel. We'll still be more there.
Well, the other thing I'd be worried about is it sliding underneath the right front tire and losing steering. As he comes off the corner, he needs to go to that lane right. He can go to the pit lane right there, and he missed it.
Yeah, he's trying to just use
it's not gonna
violent steering there to get rid of it, but the downforce that's being generated by plowing down this straightaway at 160 is just pinning it to the nose, Chris.
Yeah, Calvin, just as you guys were talking about, they told him best opportunity.
For Daniel Serra.
Got to think he was side by side with somebody through the turn 2 kink and lost that battle. There's the contact.
So it hits the Triassi Ferrari.
But that was just rejoining in turn 3, so he went for a monster ride. You saw one of the Rolex signs there displaced with the sandbags out. And
special look at this battle right here. It is intense.
Costa was last in this class. He's now battled his way back up to 5th, trying to make a move on the 48 car. Can you believe that the championship leaders have got their way back into podium position with Garcia behind the wheel now?
That's battle for 3rd in GTD Pro and the battle for the lead in GTD just behind those 5 cars. It is intense. And
to the front straight, here we go. And check it out between Estra and Van der Zande. That fight for second as they go into turn 1. A little bit of shadowing. And here goes Estra on the inside. Is he close enough? Ringer gives him a little room. Move not made.
Well, if you want to fight, you got 2 of the best in the business in terms of going all in a scrap like we're going to see here today. Estra and Van der Zande, that could be phenomenal. Kalen Fedrick.
Street fight beginning to heat up here at the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach. And Kevin Lee, we talked about problems for the Lamborghini. They're in.
It's gone from bad to worse. Danny Formel said it won't shift at all. They said you're going to have to bring it to us. They did another power cycle, so we'll see if it's sorted. But there was so much optimism. It's not been the start to the season they wanted. They qualified up front, but a chance for a result looks like it's gone away. Marty.
Kevin, another
right side, the floor, the gearbox. Now Lawrence Vantour is going to get in. They have to get it with the proper amount of fuel and energy. And now we watch the 31 Whelen Cadillac. Where are they going to come out on track together?
It's going to be tight. The 31 had traffic there with the 9 car. 6 cars going to come out up into P2 ahead of the Acura, the number 93 of Ringer Van der Zande.
Incredible strategy call.
America as Nick Tandy, who got a penalty in the 7 car for RG Bargy with Ricky Taylor. So he's made the move. He pounces on Sheldon van der Linde. But right here, he had to give another lane there on the outside of the BMW. That's what race control is saying on the exit of the corners. You got to give the guys racing room.
I mean, but he had the corner. He had the position. The BMW's deciding to try to stay there and force the issue. Listen, you guys know I call IndyCar rarely too wide like that. We've seen huge accidents from there.
To turn number 2. Battle for 3rd. Aston Martin, Heart of Racing, down the inside of Nasser, the reigning champion. And Aston are into a 3rd place position on pace. Incredible stuff from the Heart of Racing team. And Ross Gunn, what a first season this has been.
He's won here in a BMW one year. He won here in Corvette livery last year, of course, defending class champion here, but he was really hanging on there. He knew he couldn't afford to let that position up, and now he's got a little bit of traffic to take the pressure off.
And speaking of this racetrack, we've got a full course caution, Lee.
It's nasty. It is nasty. That's George Kurtz and the crowd strike with APR entry.